ODTE desks got absolutely wrecked today. This is something I almost never see happen. The move definitely came from the futures. Count on one hand, maybe two, in the 2.5 years I've been following ODTE daily that I've seen this type of move here. It is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. If you guys like the video, consider giving it a like. You can also comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Again, one more time, we've got a few days left on the sale. That'll be till the 17th at midnight. And you're real hot in the market, or in the trading room today, for instance. Catching the low at 66.08, and we sold right before. We'll talk about this little sell here at the end of the day, a few minutes before that dump. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good on that. But sometimes people joke and say that I'm in the Oval Office or in the West Wing. But nonetheless, a really wild session here today. So we gapped down, and I was looking for, I was telling members to kind of look for upside and possibly green trend today, which for the most part we got. The Qs were down, and by the way, look at NVIDIA, pretty weak here. We know that 180 is a key level. But for the most part, IWM, new all-time high. Dow had a trend day as well, back above 458 despite the gap down. And, the spiders finished flat. But this morning here, first of all, this was this is one of the easiest dip buys I think we're ever going to see. Just take a look at the divergence here, right? Sell, Qs, spiders, Dow, small caps, pump. Right there is your first red flag for sellers. Second red flag is something that we, I wish I recorded the entire morning session because there was so much gold information in there. But yeah, our LG1 on QQQ was 600 all day long. Even when we dumped out, there was no removal of any of that interest, and we did tag 590, right? We've been talking about that level for weeks now, and we did tag that, but even when we tagged it, it was still not even close to the amount of net premium that was at 600. So usually when we see stuff like that, we know it's going to go the other way. On top of that, just not a healthy, if you were a bear, you wanted the market to be gap up today. You wanted us to gap up and try at 6,700. Then you can fade it. But clearly a lot of people, and I mean a lot, chased into the hole here. Take a look at, hourly RSI. Look at how steep that is, right? Even at the low, I think it was only down to here. It was a steep divergence. That's not a healthy attempt of breakdown. You need at least 2-3 days, dude. You wiped out 3 weeks worth of gains in one session. It's 300, it's 250 point range there. If you include the after hours. If we were going to dump out today, we would have already dumped out yesterday, and then today would have been the last day of it before a rebound. You're not gonna break from here. That was just kind of absurd. So the low end here was pretty clear. We had our trend lines marked, and we swept that low, and it ended up paying out really nicely. But what am I talking about here as far as not seeing? Let me flip over here, and I've seen it happen before, but it's very rare. And basically what happened is the futures market just said, nope, we're not putting up with your BS today. So this was from earlier SPX, and it's kind of what it looked like. On the open, this is as of this morning, it looked about the same on the, so we dipped down, we went to 65.50 in the morning, right? And we rebounded. It looked about the same here at 10 o'clock, whenever it was, 10:30. This amount of net negative hedging here, across board, deltas, gamma, everything, there should have been no way we were going to get through that outside of maybe, you pop above it and then you kind of pin to it. There is no other strikes of interest anywhere, unless you're kind of going off of, unless you assumed that QQQ was going to squeeze to 6 and SPY, you had 660, a little bit of interest, and then it actually hit yesterday's LG1 at 665. But that's, at that point, it was 80 points away, right? Basically, what I'm saying, though, and just to kind of illustrate, this doesn't just happen. When it's that negative, it's so hard to roll it. It's so hard to roll it over, and they steamrolled. They steamrolled the ODT market, absolutely That is one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. And I've been doing this for 2.5 years, just ODT specifically. Not necessarily trading it, but just tracking it. So it was very, very impressive. And I mean, honestly, dude, if you're shorting into the hole there, you kind of made your own bet on that one. We did get a nice little dump here near the end of the day. Yep, soybeans. That's why we sell off now. Makes me want to just quit doing this, but just I don't know. That's where we're coming to now. But yeah, it's a Trump tweet. It's volatility. It's OPEX week. We're expecting this. Again, and this is market's on spin cycle right now. Everybody's going to make a big deal about the IWM making a new all-time high and a new all-time closing high, and it's got to be respected. I want to see it do that on the weekly first, but it's got to be respected. The Dow got back about 458. The Nasdaq was weak though. Nvidia, if that don't get saved here, that's a failed breakout on the weekly. We closed below that breakup bar. That's a failed breakout to me. And to me, this is like Wyckoff, uptrend after distribution if that follows through down. So I'd be a little careful with that. But again, bottom line is we're on spin cycle. This thing has got to it's got to tighten up, and it's not going to take 1 day to do that or 2 days to do that. Right? We have a 300 something point range to fill out now, and it's going to take time. Just like I said yesterday. So I would not try to chase trend here outside of intraday, action. So for swings, I don't like this environment right now. You got to be patient. Day trading, it's absolutely phenomenal. That said, we closed down 16 basis points, 50 MA held, and we're playing chicken. And by the way, notice what the Bears did today too. I'll give the Bears this credit, right? Where did we close yesterday? Right. Well, let me go to the intraday so you can see it. Just off the highs of the day, right? Not that significant. What happened today? Where were we today? 66.71. Pretty hard, right? They came in with a lot of volume there on a soybean tweet. Where did we close? Oh, that's right. They defended the 20 MA. Right? They're playing chicken with that. Now, I mean, yeah, it's parallel to price right now, so it's not in and of itself a major. I wouldn't go short or long on that, but it does indicate momentum. And if the market's so strong, right, nothing can stop this market. That's what we keep hearing. Why can't it it's the 20 MA here. It's not the 5 EMA, it's the 20 simple. So it should be able to just punch right through that. So again, illustrating the pinning effect here of the market, I think we're going to see 66.50 a lot. We're going to see 600 Qs a lot. Said that yesterday. So that's where we're at right now. IWM, it basically touched 250. I could see maybe 251. But again, I think everything kind of mean reverts by the end of the week here. There's a nice bit on the Dow. SMH, again, weak, really all day long, did not participate in the bounce. No amount of help from AMD and Oracle. There was another circle jerk moment there this morning. I'm desensitized to it. I don't even care at this point. Oh, and by the way, Powell was speaking today too, and he said a whole lot of nothing as far as I'm concerned. And next year he's going to be gone anyway, so his testimony doesn't really mean much unless they're going to change how they're going to do rates in the short term. IGV down $1. It was strong early and then came in pretty good off the high. Oracle finishing red. Transports had a nice rebound. Again, watch, you got a breakdown bar high, and then obviously the trend line's up there. Will be levels to watch. Rates coming down on the twos. We're about to break down here. I don't know, nothing can stop the market, right? Well, we'll find out if the 2-year breaks down, if that's true. Just saying, it's, this is kind of important. Not that anybody cares. But, fives, higher lows on the 10s and 30s as well. And TLT, it might stall out here at 91, but it might be able to get to 92 this week. I'm monitoring it. Monitoring how buyers are behaving. XHB up 3%, holding the 200, so nice to see that rebound. I think there's a fib in here. You got close to the 50%. IYR, again, nice rebound. Hey, right off the trend line. Hey, Simple. It hit the trend line, right? Financials bid as well. XLF, nice rebound. Came off the highs though. Again, a lot of earnings, a lot of volatility attached to that. So hedges on, hedges off, before, after, etc. There's a lot of noise always with the financials. And the stuff I've talked about recently with private equity, like none of that stuff's going to show up in their earnings. They're not going to. That's just not how it's just going to be done. I wouldn't even think about that right now. But nonetheless, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, JPM kind of had spinning tops. Well, sort of. Morgan Stanley did. JPM was down. BAC caught a bit, I noticed. Yeah, I think they report tomorrow. But keep an eye on HYG. Trend line in the weekly red bar. Don't fall in love with a one day wide range candle. Same can be said for Friday. Carry up 3%. Broker dealers came off the highs, but they were up too fractionally. We had oil down again. I have not messed with this. I think it needs to go lower. XLE finished flat, but I like how it gapped down and came back. And you can see the others here too. They're the same, but these gotta get higher lows here. Dollar flattish on the day, flat to inside. One headline here that I'll point out too. Again, this is another like financial related thing that's not going to show up in the earnings, but Bank of Japan is tightening up TLDR, like collateral requirements and margin requirements in their kind of like repo essentially. But nobody cares. And gold here up 68 basis points. Hey, another new all-time high. What else can you say? Except that GDX red also. So that's starting to become a pattern here. That's usually what we see before I top. So just be aware of that. Silver wide range candle here after another wide range candle with volume. There is distribution going on here. But it can go on a little bit longer and it can get way more volatile too. But you can see SIL red, SILJ red. Platinum inside day, still looking okay. Palladium new high. Nice move for palladium. Copper down, but all in all an inside day there. Lastly, crypto is rebounded nicely yesterday, specifically altcoins. It was a little on the weaker side today. I don't want to make too much out of it. You do have a big fat red bar here on Bitcoin and ETH, but again, the alts look better. Like, look at Bitcoin dominance. I'm watching like 57.30 here, right? Look at this big fat rejection from last Friday with the panic. This goes back like all the way here. If that goes, it's really going to give more of a leg to alt season. But yeah, you can see kind of like the lower low there, taking out yesterday's low, whereas ETH, it did, but it's currently within that. So we're still seeing that kind of outperformance here since the Friday move. This Solana didn't even take out yesterday's low. So they're in okay shape right now. I'm not in them yet, but I'm looking at them for the future. But again, this whole thing's got to tighten up a lot. And there's a lot of asshats out there who are saying like, oh, this is a break, we're so back, or oh, it's so over. Like it's got to tighten up. It just has to tighten up a lot more. And again, I wouldn't try to chase trend here outside of, 1 or 2 days in a row. Currently, you're just gonna have to be patient as a swing trader right now. Well, something major changes. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Get your soybeans while you can. The tariff's going up. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow.